I completely blanked. It was the year of 2013, beginning of the year, okay? I had applied for several schools for graduate school, and the number one place I wanted to go was Rice University. So I went to do my audition. I flew out to Houston, Texas, which is where Rice is, and I was so excited because that's where I wanted to be. I was like, this is it. And I flew out there and it was warm. Houston was so warm and beautiful, and I was like, it's a sign, everything's gonna work for me. The audition requirements ask you to prepare something written after 1950. I decided to choose Jeannie with the light brown hair. A week before I left, I was feeling super confident. I did it every day. I was singing it great, no problems. I didn't have any memory problems. I was like, okay, we're solid. Here's the fun part. This is like the nightmare everybody has, okay? The thing everybody dreams about, and they're like, that can't happen to me. It happened to me. So I went in, they asked for, well, they said, what do you want to start with? Because you always sing one of your choice and then they choose the next one. So I chose Petta Pietà because I knew it was going to be a killer song. I knew I was going to nail it. I did. I nailed it. I got done. They were, gave me courtesy claps. They were very positive. Then they asked for my next piece and they chose Jeannie with the light brown hair. And I was like, good thing I worked so hard to make this stick. I started the song, the first stanza of the poetry, I finished it, it was going great. Halfway through the second one, I completely blanked. I forgot everything. It was like, this is the nightmare that everybody tells you about. This is it. This is happening to me. I was like, didn't Renee fly? So then my brain starts going 1,000,000 miles per hour while they're looking at me and I can feel their eyes on me. And I look down at the stage and I can still remember every crack on that stage. And I remember thinking, I'm going to remember every crack on this stage because this is hell. This is happening. I forgot everything. I can't remember what comes next. Oh my gosh, didn't Renee Fleming once talk about this time that she forgot everything? Didn't it happen to her once? I swear this I don't even know what to do. This is not. And then my other brain was like, will you shut up and remember something, anything? And so I stopped singing and I was like, collect yourself. What's the next piece you remember? And I had this conversation with myself where one side of me was like, what's the next thing you remember? Come on. And bless the accompanist. He just kept vamping. I could just feel his eyes on me he just kept playing and I just kept staring. And then I remembered the next thing and I started singing and I had to make up a couple of more words and then I finished, but I completely skipped a middle section. As I looked out into the audience, half of the heads were in darkness kind of, and half of them started going, what is going on with her? I finished the song. To say I was devastated is the biggest understatement of the century. I was just kind of in shock because it was my dream to go to Rice. I was I'm one of those people. I'm one of those kids that comes out and everyone feels sorry for them because they totally failed or missed the shot. And I walked around campus for 2 hours and I was just devastated. And when I look back now, you guys, it wasn't worth that amount of anxiety. I mean, yeah, it was a big deal because I had propped it up. I really wanted that thing. But it's okay that I was imperfect. I went to Northwestern a couple of weeks later and that audition went really, really well. And then I got an audition at Yale University when I was maybe 2 days away from flying out to Connecticut. I got so sick and I wrote her and I said, I'm so sick, I can't come. I went to bed. The next morning, Doris Yarrick Cross called me, who was the artistic director at Yale at the time, the one in charge of making all the choices. She called me and she was like, hello, Emily. And she asked me about being sick and she said, we got your email. And then she said, we really need you to come out here and sing for us. And I was like, girl, you really liked me. Like, how often do you get a call like that? So I got to be there just me. And so I had an interview with her. I got to work with their coach before I auditioned. I went up, I sang through my first aria. They literally had me sing everything on my list except for one song. I finished. I flew to Las Vegas because I wanted to drive through southern Utah and see my family. And then I drove all the way back up to Provo, Utah, where I was going to school. And an hour before I got back to Provo, I got a call from Doris. This was 2 days later. And I got a call from Doris and she said, you've been accepted. We want you to come be in our program, which is exactly what I did. Moral of the story is, you guys, it's okay for you to make big blunders and still get to a prestigious place. Ironically enough, that place was better for me than Rice ever could have been. Moral of the story, take from it whatever you will. You can make big, big blunders in your life and still do amazing things. Don't give up, take a shot. Why not you?